Picture this, you're hanging out with your best friend on a random Tuesday night, laughing at silly memes, bringing that new hit show, and scarfing down pizza like there's no tomorrow. Everything feels normal, except lately, it feels like you're in a weird dimension where friendship could mean something more. Are those sparks you're feeling, or is it just indigestion from the spicy pepperoni? If you've ever caught yourself wondering whether your BFF wants to be your forever plus one, strap in because today we are diving into 10 unexpected, slightly controversial, and sometimes downright weird signs that your best friend might have a crush on you. And yes, we'll talk about the big question, should you do anything about it? They're overly invested in your love life, but not in a friendly way. Sure, friends talk about relationships, but if your best buddy starts interrogating you about every new person you date, like a detective looking for the slightest reason to label them unworthy, it might be more than concern. When they fish for details and then criticize your date for breathing the wrong way or having questionable sneaker choices, they could be hoping you'll stay single or realize that they're an upgrade. Think about how they act if you mention someone you find attractive. Do they get quiet? Do they get moody or sarcastic? That might not be mere friendly feedback. The physical contact that feels charged. Yes, some friends are just affectionate, but do you sense a different vibe when your bestie bumps shoulders with you or when they sit a bit too close during movie night? Maybe they reach out to fix your hair or brush an eyelash off your face and it feels kinda intimate. If their casual touches linger longer than you'd expect from a typical bestie, it's worth paying attention. Here's the controversial take. Not everyone who's physically close to you likes you romantically, but if they only do this with you and not other friends, it's a neon sign that screams, hey, you're special. Their social media is a shrine to you. Friends love tagging each other in memes or silly posts, but if your face is consistently featured on their Instagram feed, especially in suspiciously adorable pictures, you might be edging into soft launch territory. If they're super active online, keep an eye on how they interact with your content. Are they always the first person to like your comments or watch your stories the minute you post? Maybe they're reclaiming their territory digitally. Social media is the new scoreboard. Consistently showing you off could be a subtle or not so subtle flex that says, look at us, aren't we cute? They act like your partner, minus the official title. Ever catch yourself thinking, wow, this is basically a date? Maybe they plan elaborate hangouts that sound suspiciously like date nights, complete with your favorite restaurant, that picturesque park you mentioned once, or tickets to see a band you adore. If your time together feels more like a rom-com montage than a typical best buds get-together, there might be more at play than just wanting to share experiences. Some friendships naturally border on romantic territory, but if you're both single and these friend dates start looking like actual dates, it might be time to question the line you're towing. They low-key sabotage your other prospects. Have you ever introduced a potential partner to your best friend and suddenly your friend acts like the new person is from another planet? They point out every flaw, like they talk too loud, they chew with their mouth open, or I heard they still watch cartoons at age 25. What's up with that? Sure, some of these might be valid observations, but if your best friend seems determined to prove that nobody can match your awesomeness, maybe they're trying to hint that they could. This behavior can border on toxic, so keep an eye out for it. A genuine best friend wants you to be happy. If they keep casting doubt on everyone you date, ask yourself why. The late night deep dives. If your friend only seems to bare their soul to you at 2 a.m., talking about how they feel incomplete or how they can't imagine their future without you, take note. Vulnerability can be an enormous sign of emotional intimacy, particularly if it's something they don't do with others. Maybe they're using these deep conversations as a bridge, hoping you'll meet them halfway with your own romantic confessions. Ask yourself if these late-night heart-to-hearts go both ways. Do you feel comfortable sharing equally deep stuff with them? That dynamic can speak volumes. Inconsistent behavior that gives you whiplash. 1 minute, they're all heart eyes, giving you compliments left and right. The next, they're cold, distant, or downright annoyed with you. This kind of emotional roller coaster can be an indicator that they're wrestling with your feelings they haven't quite owned up to yet. They might be trying to push you away to avoid heartbreak or pulling you closer because they can't help it. Guys, here's the thing. Mixed signals can be manipulative if done intentionally. However, sometimes people are genuinely confused about how to handle new romantic feelings for a friend. They keep the "what if we dated" joke on replay. Maybe it's a running gag in your circle. You two get teased about "why aren't you dating?" and your best friend always responds with a quirky wink or playful "if only you knew." If this joke comes up over and over, it's a classic way to test how you'll react without admitting anything directly. Humor can be a shield. If they constantly crack jokes about the two of you dating, they could be gouging if it's safe to come clean. So, what's next? Alright, you've tallied up the signs and your gut feeling is telling you something's up. Now what? The toughest part, deciding whether you want to stay in the comfortable confines of just being friends or take a leap of faith. Yes, it's scary and awkward, but clarity can save months or even years of suppressed feelings and weird tension. Check in with yourself. How do you feel about them? Is there a spark you've been ignoring, or is the idea of dating them a total no-go? Respect boundaries. If they deny it but you're still convinced otherwise, don't push. Sometimes people aren't ready to face the truth. Prepare for possible awkwardness. Not every confession leads to a rom-com ending, but real friendships, especially deep ones, have a weird way of bouncing back stronger once honesty is on the table. If your best friend is putting out those romantic vibes, remember, the line between friendship and romance can be as thin as a piece of paper. Sometimes you just need to shine a light on it to see clearly. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it enlightening or at least entertaining. Drop a comment sharing your own strange or hilarious experiences. Maybe you'll find someone who's going through the same confusion and you can bond over it together. And hey, if you think your bestie might actually be the one, maybe it's time for that heart-to-heart.